welcome back, everybody. Another map between Fnatic and HellRaisers coming up on Cash. And in case you weren't tuned into the B stream, it was a stomping by Virtus.pro, 16-6 over NIP. That was on Nuke, yeah.
They never went anywhere, but Jason taking my points as normal.
Oh, is that you wanted to say that?
I did.
And he denied it.
Yeah, I asked him to set me up for that in the last, part of the last segment.
Listen, I'm trying to steer here.
Well, for those playing at home, if you do want to watch the B stream, they are going to be playing on the second map, which will be Cobblestone very shortly. Have both streams open, watch ours.
Spicy
audio for ours is much better.
Yeah.
We have less Brits.
You're very good at that. I should just hand that off to you every single time. That's my apologies. Either way, yeah, Cash coming up.
Cash, one of my favorite
We haven't
maps.
seen much of this map this season.
We haven't, and we get to see Olaf Meister coming up on it. He reminds me of young Henry G in many ways in that map. Very skilled, very tactical, finding room to move wherever he can, and also finding a lot of kills.
Good with the Yogurt ads as well.
Sorry?
Good with the Yogurt ads as well.
Oh, yeah, he did a Yogurt ad, you're right, yeah.
Just like you did.
That's good. Yeah, I used to do those back in the day. That's
Did you
a long
really?
time ago, Chad. Yeah. But still, Cash, this is one of the maps of Fnatic. This is sort of their team can really show them what they're made of, right? And Cash is a very fragging, focused map and just spreading out defaults, pushing into certain areas as a 5-man unit and actually overwhelming people with frags. Fnatic very good at that. It certainly lends itself to them. And I thought Cobble was going to be a HellRaisers map. Apparently not. They managed to throw it away. But
if Cobble's not, I think Cash could be, because they had some really good results on LAN. They managed to topple North 16-14 at Star Series, and
that's
they
a bad
also
map for North.
But they also beat FaZe.
That's true.
16-10.
That is a great result.
Yes.
That was the opening game of the tournament, to be fair. So let's reel that in a little
Okay,
bit.
all right.
If you know what I mean.
Bring that back.
All right.
So the point was, like, FaZe looked awful at the beginning, but they worked themselves into the tournament.
What about this one? What if I hit you with this one? North beat Fnatic on this map.
Well, here, hit him with this one, because I know you have a strategic clip, so you're going to get a chance to pump up.
Look at all of these decoys. It's right here. Check out all these decoys that just threw on mid. The overlay is going to pop up. You're going to see they threw 5 decoys in middle. Now, you're thinking this is pretty silly, because I don't really like decoys, but this here has a lot of noise.
I remember this.
Yeah, so if people play close up in middle, the decoys are going to mask the sound. If they did want to do a hard A, they're just going to go slow. Angel on the entry fragging, as per usual. Smoke coming in and a Molotov, basically from Sticker, and they just take that bomb site. The thing which I find really interesting here is North are playing a retake setup, but the way that HellRaisers play this post plant, they basically just hide and they don't play normal positions. They play 2 people in Squeaky, they've got a guy in A main, and what happens is as the retake comes in, the CTs are clearing all the normal spots, but there's no terrorists there. And then as they eventually get into close to the bomb, all the Ts pop out. How you going? Grab a couple of frags. Bondi's going to grab a nice one through the door here. And
with a Glock, that's not bad.
Yeah, you love to see it.
Yeah.
And little jump frag going to come in from Angel here to finish it off. But the main point I wanted to say there was I don't like decoys, but the way that they used it in this situation was quite cool.
Yep.
Helps to master the audio, and then they played the after playing a bit unorthodox as well. So HellRaisers, unorthodox team, getting it done.
Yeah, a few teams have used decoys in the past to kind of stealth things. Like Train, for example, Stralis, when the map got redesigned for the first time, they were doing strategies. They throw a load of decoys at the start of the round.
That was cool.
To bait out utility at the start. There is a use for them. People underestimate how kind of impactful they can be.
What if you threw a decoy as the bomb carrier? What if it showed up as the bomb on the radar? Would that be too much?
I don't think it does. Don't think it does that.
You better slide into Valve's DMs.
That would be cool, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, I see what you mean. Just to kind of make them. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
SK had a strat where they threw a decoy from like that useless room all the way to Squeaky Door. So when you open Squeaky Door, as the T's are open the other way, and you could pick into the A side.
No way. So what? It blocks the door, and then it
opens inwards so that you can pick in the side.
That's ingenious. I like that.
Put that one in your back pocket.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
We'll need Rush to get on that. Maybe that's going to be his next future pros.
That's a good idea.
Yeah?
Let's do that.
We'll talk to him.
Let's get on it.
He's listening in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you said that HellRaisers are going to be favored on Cobble. Didn't exactly pan out that way. Cash, you said you're not feeling as much, or?
I feel like in terms of what I just saw in terms of the overall fragging in that game, it feels like Fnatic. This is, like we said, it's a map. They're kind of home turf. Traditionally, back when they were the very best as well, they used to dominate people on this map, and it feels like they're kind of having a resurgence now, kind of hitting the shots again, getting better as a unit, winning both pistols, admittedly in the last map, kind of gave them a bit of a crush to work with there. But I feel like from what HellRaisers I've seen so far, they're not going to be able to go head-to-head with Fnatic. They seem to come to life towards the end of Cobble.
Yeah.
Like they got made it a bit closer, but it's always difficult to take those rounds with any sort of importance. You know, the fact is, Fnatic, they probably took their foot off the gas a little bit towards the end there. They just rushed straight in towards B. Sticker got a 4-man of UMP, right? And it's like, that was the door opening, and it's difficult to really give it that much weight. But yeah, I feel like Fnatic will be stomping this one like a good 16. Let's go 16-7, Jason. I'll give you an accurate score. How
You're
about
even
that?
doing predictions and
scores.
you
got rid of predictions in the beginning of Pro League, and I thought that was a travesty.
We still haven't really done predictions. I mean,
we don't do
to be fair,
predictions here.
I didn't personally get rid of them. I was
told him we don't do them.
Well, I'm telling you we do them.
This was a decision by committee that predictions were taken away.
Okay, well, I'm not on the committee.
I'm currently in the lead chair right here, and predictions are still banned.
Well, I've just done one. Well, do you give me a yellow card? What are you going to do?
Step up?
Send me off?
Step up to the plate, Chad?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah, you back down.
Are we still doing analysis?
That's
are we
fine.
doing
It's really
analysis
alpha
still?
that one, yeah.
or are we filling? Which one are we doing?
We're not doing either. We're just waiting for the players to get ready. Actually, and do you want to throw a picture just to help us out with some time?
No.
No, not at all.
What do we? Do you want me to keep talking?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we are good, and we're gonna get into this game. It's gonna be on cash between Fnatic and HellRaisers.
It's nice to know who's in charge of that ship sometimes, isn't it, Lauren?
It's tricky. It is tricky. Jason's trying his best though, and that's all you can really say about this one. Now, I actually really like the point about the decoys being brought up, because it did remind me of what we saw on Cobble from HellRaisers a little bit. They like to master the sound of a lot of the way they play. You look at the drop play they had, that little drop piece. They spam out the wall right next to it, so when they drop in, it kind of muffles the sound. And there's a couple of pieces like that I think people get excited about. I think it was Snacks on Cash, actually, who used to shoot the floor just as he was trying to drop on B. So I think Steel actually pointed that out a long time ago.
Given their name, I quite enjoyed the fact that HellRaisers like to make a bit of racket. That's a bit fun.
I like small nuanced things like that, though. I actually find it really, really interesting when people find small little ways to try and further their success rates at whatever they do. And I think it's quite interesting to see teams finding still new ways, considering this game's been out quite some time. It's always nice to see a little bit of something new coming through every now and then.
Indeed it is. We're going to be underway in a moment. You can see there's 6 players in that particular spawn, which, as you know, according to Commissioner Chad, not really allowed in Counter-Strike. So we're still in warm-up at the moment. Yeah, not really the way we do it. So, I mean, interesting map to come into. We haven't really... Yeah, I mean, we saw HellRaisers against North on this map. I think that sort of gave us a lot of information. And that was such an admirable performance from them in that series. And it's so recent and close to our minds there. Both these teams had a really nice deep run at Star Ladder as well. So this will be a curious one. Lauren, coming to the pistol, though. A lot of armor, and Crims goes without just so we can keep that kit.
Yeah, maybe indicating a little bit more of a retake perspective down the line. We'll see what he does with it, because on the other side, you've got Stick over here with a molly and a smoke. So again, this could be a nice little piece coming out from HellRaisers. I want to keep eyes on them. They seem quite, not necessarily ingenious, but they have a unique way of playing. And Fnatic going for the double stack towards Checkers as well. I think you've got Olafmeister Jeremy at the back of the box. Yeah, and then Dennis. So basically, Olafmeister takes contact and does it so well. He does get overwhelmed eventually, but it kind of plays in Dennis now. You wouldn't necessarily expect 2 players to be here, and they do check it eventually, but after they check box. And Dennis is very good with the pistol. There's no disputing this one. The nade comes in to soften the blow a little bit for him, and now he goes, finds a new angle. He's really buying so much time here, so much damage dealt. Really well played, and it's going to force HellRaisers back, because now Flush has shown his hand too.
The fact that Dennis can actually back away to the second opening inside Checkers is ridiculous. And, maybe not enough pressure from HellRaisers, but again, really giving a good account for himself. So, HellRaisers, not really sure what the plan's going to be here. Sticking together with his Glocks now, back to B.
They try to fake out the sound like they're going towards A. JW's fallen for it and it's caused a rotate, or it's kind of reset everything, right? So Fnatic had to fall back to somewhat of a default, excluding JW, who's now going to see, I don't see anyone main, so they've either pushed, they're either at Lockers or Squeaky, or they've done the dirty and gone all the way right back around towards B, and that's exactly what they've done. So this is quite nice. This is quite ingenious, really. HellRaisers is trying to even the odds. A little bit theoretical, but now Dennis has seen it, so it's going to be a swift, fall right back over towards B. Dennis just needs to buy time, and he did fairly well at that, but he gets overwhelmed by Dead Fox in the end with that Deagle now to hand. Bomb's going to go in towards Checkers, kind of planning for Vent almost, so Dead Fox can stay over here if he wants to, but they don't have much safety on this map. They don't know where these players are. They can make a guess, okay, they know there's one CT, and the benefit being Vent isn't broken, so they can wait to hear that if they need to, so they can fall back to better after plant positions.
Dead Fox a little bit concerned about Vent because he knows that the fact that the Vent is there slightly obscures his vision, but now it's going to be a group push for Fnatic on towards the side. Sticko can't hold up in the heat. It's Dead Fox forced away from this one. There's still a kit on Crims, and that could be important. But the aforementioned, he's the one playing close, trying to go for the knife, and it doesn't work out. Fnatic have to be careful here. The defuse, though, is going to come in. There was time, even though Crims had the kit and kind of went and got himself killed in the opening. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, that was quite a nice idea, though, from HellRaisers to bait the sound out in middle and then, wrap right back round towards B. Lucky for them, obviously JW was there to hear it. So again, it's one of those things you kind of theory. You go, okay, well, maybe if there's one pushed up, maybe we can bait it out. It's a nice plan. It didn't work out, but it did get them the bomb plant, which they probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And they are going to go for the buy on the back of this as well. Buying up here, they felt as though they got close enough. They can do something with it. 2 rifles coming in. Angel on one of those and Bondic on the other. The others sat on Tech9's Deagles and a small piece of utility. So they can't really do too much elaborate at the moment, elaborate pieces they like to bring out, but maybe there'll be something quite nice to look at in this one. And Fnatic on the other side, not perfect at all in what they've got here. No UMPs coming up this time.
No, famous bias for them, in fact, here. And a little bit of, lack of utility on players like Flusher and Crims. So most of that's going to come down to JW and Olafmeister playing the separate sites. They're the utility caddies. but HellRaisers have made them way slowly, tentatively in towards A main. Angel peeks just a little bit, just the tip in fact, and he gives it all to JW. Good opening, and HellRaisers now are on the move, but Crims is trying to fire back here. Flusher on the upper levels, can't do much, and Sticko finds him with the 1 dig.
That's really impressive considering how little they had. They've been able to fashion this quite clean hit thus far. Bomb plant, not directly for main, but fair enough, it's as close as you're going to get. So they've got a nice little plant coming in. That'll play well for them. No one's actually sat in A main anyway. I think Sticko could back to it, but Angel's now under pressure, burning alive a little bit here. Has to fall into the side. This might play well for Zero, though. He's still playing over by quad. He's going to peek out a little bit, let the attention be taken by the others. But Earthmeister did best Angel, so it's a little bit of a threat, especially when he hits shots like that. No kit yet to be seen, and well, this kind of adds to an issue here. Sticko's going to have to peek this sooner or later. He's going to hear it, though, and Earthmeister gets the job done. He finds the kit and comes back around. 4 big kills for him. What a way to play back.
That is so big. That is massive. I think a bit of a mistake there from Sticko, maybe failed the jump or whatever he was trying to do in that direction. Earthmeister had a good idea. It's important to note that Sticko didn't have armor. So you see HellRaisers that progresses through that round and builds them up a good amount of weapons. But when Earthmeister can take them by surprise, use Molotovs to move them out of position, their lack of armor makes it very easy for him to spray them down.
Yeah, and the buy now, they're just going to have to kind of relent. Oh, Zero, let's have a peep. Let's have a peep towards Zero, guys and girls. Here it is. Here it is, the old revolver. That's still allowed in play.
Yeah, all right. Still a thing.
Did he mean it? He's got a skin. He meant it. Off it goes. Nice and quiet, this gun.
This is the primary fire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not quite the full
I'm still not
cocking.
particularly used to it. You need to speak to Henry G, bit of an expert on that one. Not only in show matches, but rocks it out in a couple of games we've been playing. So guys got a way forward. But speaking of that, JW's just had enough of this one. Zero's trying to make use of this. He's only got 6 bullets left. I'd really enjoy seeing a kill. 3 now. Got to be careful on this one. Dennis. Ooh, there it is.
Jeez, that's a strong weapon. Oh, okay then. Zero managed to get Dennis, but that's all he's going to have for the particular round. It's $850 for the R8, all spent now. And no good to HellRaisers. However, that was the safe, that was the pistol. They sort of force up a little bit around that round, get a little bit done, but Fnatic want to play a bit of an aggressive CT side there. You see JW takes over A main. Not only does it give you a huge amount of peace of mind and information, it'll also let you take the enemy team by surprise. Now, this is the interesting round, because Fnatic have maintained some of these SMGs, the FAMAS and 2 UMPs are in the mix, whereas HellRaisers are fully kitted out here.
And again, the stack towards checkers between Olofmeister and Dennis, and I think they broke out the vents. So Olofmeister can be up there. Gives them a bit more of a play towards mid, so it's not just Crims on his own. You can see a little bit of a push towards the extremities, a touch. JW there just pushing up by Squeaky, not allowing free control throughout the map, which is, you know, it's always a nice little touch. And he loves being aggressive anyway. You can see it in his gameplay from start to finish. But
to a fault, perhaps.
Yeah, of course, it can be definitely debated whether or not sometimes it can be his downfall. But we'll see if this one pays off for him, because at the moment, they're still looking like they're going to go towards A. Bit of a flash through. No one working off the back of it. Bondic's going to show, but it looks like HellRaisers might be looking towards something else, maybe a split through towards mid, and Bondic needs to be careful here. Yeah,
you can see the HellRaisers weren't using any of their utility because they're waiting to force it out of Fnatic, and they can bring theirs in. Even playing ahead of the smokes on a site, they can force an automatic retake if they get a couple kills on the entry, and that seems to be what Bondic's working on right now. Olofmeister goes down, the event eventually gets banged out, and Zero's in the middle of the map. Sticko challenges a little bit too deep, but Angel's there. He at least gets the crossfire onto him, and that's Dennis now on his own. A little bit caught out. Not in a great position to really make his way back into these sites. Doesn't have a lot to work with, no flash, no Molotov. That's how Olofmeister won his round, if you remember. The Molotov over towards the forklift was a huge opening for him to shake Angel out of position.
And the thing is, sadly for Dennis, and he doesn't know it, even if you wanted to go for something there, you've already got someone watching the back push up. So Zero just being able to spot this means that he can't go forklift, go towards truck. So the only way you'd be actually able to go anywhere would be up highway, which they're going to be watching. So Dennis just trying to catch anything he can here. Gets a little bit of a molly as well. And probably just going to just accept that this round is over for him and the team. This will fall into the pockets of HellRaisers. So first proper gun round, quote unquote, coming in means the HellRaisers win it with 3 alive. Bomb plant to boot. Decent amount of utility left. Fnatic kind of have to just deal with this one.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't upgrade all of their weapons in the prior round. You can see that Olofmeister and JW still have enough money, and, oh, there it is. Sure as heck, it comes through. The double AWP for Fnatic. And they're still going to buy a UMP and a FAMAS around it here. We'll see what they do with this. The CT-sided double AWPs, given the HellRaisers a fair bit of problems in the past on Cobblestone, and even against North, as well as you mentioned earlier on. They didn't get any rounds in which that was actually a factor. We'll see. Crim's playing up close in mid. JW also playing it rather close. Just might hold towards MBK for the moment.
Zero already finding Olofmeister. That's a little bit of a
I think Olof pushed him.
I don't know where he actually pushed that much. Yeah, I guess it could. There was a smoke towards main, but
normally you just don't expect the AK player to win that playing from Sunroom. Normally the.
But look how aware. Well, not. I don't know necessarily aware is the word, but a quick flat. Yeah, this is so well played out. They read. I wasn't sure if they were fully aware of that being a possibility. But you definitely know people like JW like to make those plays, so you can kind of read into it, and it's worth expending a flash to play for that sort of control, considering he did it not too long ago as well. Now, 2 players making a little bit of a show towards A, but the main plan is towards B. 3 players heading this way. The smoke's really denying Fnatic any sort of information. And they're still going to be hearing these steps, still kind of understanding, oh, okay, there's a flash here. Flash is now going to go for the push. Angel watches it. And this is so well played. HellRaisers now can make their way towards B, smoke out towards CT, and Angel's winning out towards A, even better. The last man alive will be Crims, who's been playing mid, so they can read that pretty quickly as well. Might need to be a little careful of vents, and that's why Sticko instantly is there. And someone's got to be careful of the back as well, and that might be his job too, as the bomb will be planted.
And you're going to see is this being one of the situations where Fnatic shoot themselves in the foot buying 2 AWPs in a round where they're not really solidified economically. When you see Fnatic buy AWPs when some of their teammates have to get things like UMPs and the like, really wrecks their money. Now, it's not too bad. They've still got at least 2K per player after that.
Olaf did push the smoke. Yep. He was sat in front of it. Wow.
You can't make that up, can you? I mean, and JW also was punished. JW also was punished for, like, overextending himself there as well. So we'll see it. We'll see how that manifests further down the line. We'll see if that really breaks Fnatic. For now, it just forces them onto pistols, in which they're more than happy to just eat humble pie and, you know, forego armor. Still, the aggression there from Crimson mid doesn't yield results.
Run boost over by A as well. Flush is just going to pop up JW nice and quickly. Don't have to show themselves boosting, down below by the toxic barrel, or the barrels down below. So nice little twist on that. But they do only have pistols, so I don't expect too much. I just want to see how clean HellRaisers like to keep this, how proficient they are at these sort of rounds. Sticko there, comfortably finding Flusher towards Connector, no problems with that. And the rest of Fnatic, they're trying for opportunities, but there's little being given over. HellRaisers were a really nice approach so far. Catching out JW, such a vulnerability, if you have no control towards highway, you get pinched from both angles, you're always going to be a little bit vulnerable from that. And now Dennis left alive with the Deagle. He might be able to catch one on the way out. He's an incredibly talented man with any sort of pistol in hand, so I wouldn't write him out being able to catch a couple of exits possibly if they do come his way, but for now he's kind of irrelevant to the way this round pans out.
Yeah, he's at the bottom of the ramp up towards Heaven on B site, so he'll only be discovered if Angel goes quite deep. This is part of the plan, of course. Dennis wants to just try to utilize the element of surprise if you can. Sticko just walking around the map there. I think he's managed to get himself a couple of grenades in that mix, so anything to save money for HellRaisers going forward. They'd love to build that economy up. They're not spending too much money as well. They're not buying a second AWP, content with just the one. So now, a lot of money for them. This is what they needed to do after losing that pistol round. This is the recovery, just what they needed.
Update to the Renegades roster as well. Wonder what Chad's thoughts are about that one afterwards. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, Nifty, of course, the American player, and Nexa is the Serbian player, which we probably believe is, Kassad's influence on the team in a big way.
I think YNK also has a little bit of a influence towards that too. But back to this round for now. We can, I can imagine the desk can have a little discussion on that. But what an opening! Angel, incredible impact. But Olofmeister steps up to the challenge quite handily. 2 big kills there for him. But if anything, it's speeding up the process that HellRaisers is going to make towards his site. Quick plant comes in. Sticko's a little far out from this round, but he could still be very relevant to denying JW the play up here. But JW might check this, but I wonder how deep he's going to check. And lovely shot from Sticko there.
Very sharp.
Yeah, indeed, incredibly sharp from him. But it does mean the Flusher and Crims are kind of locked out from this one. No real step back into the site unless they get a kill very, very swiftly.
Crims is going to make his way into mid and try and make something happen. Getting into checkers, though, is going to be, half the battle at this stage. No one's posted up inside checkers too closely. I think Bondic might be in there. That's Dead Fox. Flusher, no step towards that site. And Crims realizes that he might be better served just getting the heck out. Picks up the smoke, sees it on the ground. Not always easy to spot, but make sure you do that in your game. Save you a bit of money. Crim's now going to sit back in the corner. It may get challenged out here by a HellRaisers player, but those exits probably aren't going to be happening here. HellRaisers actually really want to build this economy properly here. Stockpile a bit of money just in case things go south for the winter. And yeah, you see Fnatic's money now after that round is still pretty weak.
Yeah. And you know that when you're playing against Fnatic, it's always good to have that full utility set. So even if there's, the double ops here, if you need to go for those site hits or, the normal response to these sort of things. If you see a double AWP on, and you're on the T side, is do a bit of a sight hit coming in, and you want those, that utility to be able to kind of facilitate that. You want to be having those molotovs to clear out, your quads or any sort of positions. It gives you such a nice step towards it. So for now, keeping their money nice and high is always very much on the priority list. But that all aside, this round is far from a good one for Fnatic. They've got one big buy on towards Crims. The rest, bit of armor here or there, and Olofmeister taking a face full of damage, down to 3 HP. A very comfortable pick up to Zero, no real trouble on that one.
This is a really interesting head-to-head, actually. Zero versus Olofmeister over on the B side of the map. Most of the action's happening towards mid and A, but Zero's consistently winning those battles, even if Olofmeister's pushing him with an AWP. That's important. For HellRaisers, it may not mean that they go to B immediately, but it definitely relieves some of the pressure elsewhere on the map. And Deadfox is playing a little bit more passively, looking in towards A main, knowing that JW will be looking to make a play to re-establish his team, and it is foiled.
And this slower, more, well, not necessarily slow, but quite a passive approach from HellRaisers, in certain positions, is a really good way to play against people like Fnatic, who are always actively looking for fights. And of course, eventually you have to go to the site anyway. You have to take those fights regardless. But by that point, they still have the utility. They still have everything they need to really fashion that very, very strong hit. And it's just working out so well for them. I'm thoroughly enjoying the fact that they're able to punish this. You look back on these rounds, you throw your minds back. The double AWP we first saw, Olofmeister got caught pushing through the smoke up at B. They fashioned this lovely little flash in for the player towards Squeaky. That also worked out well for them. We're seeing it there with Deadfox, just expecting these sort of plays that actually work out well for HellRaisers. They started to get a good handle on this game. We do have the double AWPs back, and I wonder if we're going to see something similar to what we saw before, being maybe a little expecting of those kind of searching for plays, looking for opportunities.
Grenade in. Crims goes down very early, actually. He was in mid. I think it was the boosted player. Yeah, Sticko was up there with Angel, I think. Oh, he was in the middle of the map, actually, just inside.
Straight up fight or a spam through the smoke there. Who knows?
That's big. I mean, this is the second round now that we've seen HellRaisers get their first kill to open things up. Now, Olofmeister's not playing solo B, though. He's actually going to rotate in towards mid.
And look how far back Fnatic are now playing. You had Olofmeister and JW both super passive towards CT here. Flusher incredibly isolated, very alone towards the A site as well. The bomb's yet to fully commit, but with this sort of highway control, you can imagine this is going to be that A pounce coming in, and Angel's going to really hammer that one home. But watching the cross to JW, no easy access just yet, but Sticko really securing the angles, finding control towards middle again, leaving it very much in the hands of that man there who's just been found. And Dennis is very, very far away and not really able to play back into this one too easily.
And this is the result of Crims going down so early in the middle of the map. Now, HellRaisers with so much mid-control, they can pressure JW just like that, working in from highway, come in for that secondary peak now, even make their way through lobby if they wanted to. Have so much control of the map from that one kill. And a lot of the most successful teams on cash play through mid aggressively, whether it's a CT or T, and they make sure they can really wrap onto A very comfortably.
Just trying to save. I think Sticko's pretty close by still, so has to be careful. He can't scope in at this point either, in case people close by. I think he's heard steps. He'll find one. Baits out the shot from middle. It's just every angle is now dangerous. Good luck, Dennis. And yeah, the luck runs out eventually. He can't take anyone with him, and an AWP could be recovered if they wanted another on the T side. Not what they want at all. So Fnatic keep, pretty much pushed down here. They don't have that full money yet. They don't have anything to really play with. They do at least have enough to be able to buy up, the upgraded pistols. You might as well. You've lost a couple of rounds back to back. Get in, get something on your side. Buy to about 2K, a little bit under for Dennis, but he's all right. Crims holding off on just a deagle as well. So this is getting pretty tricky for Fnatic. They haven't had that clean run where you can see the money built up, so they can always fall back to what they want here. And you know that they suffer pretty heavily from that. So at this point, I wonder if we're going to see a flash in towards main or something. And you can see them all sat anti-flash for HellRaisers anyway, so it'd be kind of tough for that to work out for them. And it looks like a bit of a quick hit here from HellRaisers. They're just going to kind of take the direct fights, and I don't really mind it. Got to be a little bit mindful of people like Flusher and Crims here, though.
Yeah, Bob's still towards the middle of the map here, but HellRaisers are doing exactly that over at A. And it's just Crims really left. It's only 2 players up for Fnatic now. Crims trying to get aggressive. Fnatic have spent this entire round trying to get access, get up close against HellRaisers and be able to use his pistols effectively, but none of them have, with the exception of Olofmeister, who did find Zero. So that 1v1 duel on B is still transpiring. This time Olof wins it out and even adds to it with a kill on Angel.
But that's all. That's all you'll get. Nice round from Bondik. 4 kills for him. not letting any of those normal worries that happen with Fnatic start to kick in. Where, oh, they've got to kill. Oh no, they've got good positions. You start to get a little bit nervous about it, but no, he was very much on point during this. You gonna drop him out anything? I was wondering if he was going to go for a bit of a quick mid peek. He wasn't. I was just hoping we'd see something a little spicy. Not to be. And
Olaf had a slow spawn too.
And Crims has the AWP now. Huh.
I guess Olaf wants to still play on B. Maybe feels he has a measure of 0.
Now look at Dennis here as well. This is very, very different. Dennis playing very up close towards mid. This is the change maybe they've theoried or planned out, be a little more aggressive in certain aspects, but HellRaisers are so aware. Look at this. Look how far back they are. Angel on the truck, 0 probably on the signpost in spawn, Sticko holding useless room, Deadfox holding A main. They are literally saying, all right, let's just give them a minute. Give them however long they want. We'll play back into this carefully and cautiously. That's the more interesting part. Them trying to retake that T-side control that you're normally given. Fnatic have denied that very, very, very much so. So again, this would be quite interesting to see how well HellRaisers take back that territory that you're normally often given for free.
And this is interesting because HellRaisers, especially under the command of Angel, have been known as a more aggressive team. One of the more, and people used to compare them all the time to Flipside and go, oh, they're so much more aggressive. But now they're reading into Fnatic. They know the Fnatic like to try and get a bit of CT aggression going.
Now this is lovely. I personally love the double smokes towards middle because it gives you so much room to operate. Because if someone's pushed close, you can then isolate them away from the guy who's supporting on highway or connector. It gives you a step back in. So that's the first bit of a step in the HellRaisers plan. And I thought that was JW. It was actually Crims with the ult there fighting Sticko, but a quick response comes in from Angel, and back and forth they go. It still sits pretty nicely for HellRaisers here. If they get Flusher down quickly, then they can just go straight in towards A, and there it is. The cross is now complete. No one is there to watch this. Crims might be able to stop Deadfox here, but you can still see the smokes coming in. Down to 20 seconds, though, but the bomb plant's going to come through.
Yep. HellRaisers biding their time early in the round, and you see their first stop is still trying to get that mid control. It didn't quite work out, but they drew enough players from Fnatic away from the A site that they could comfortably get in there and start things off. Fnatic have to go for this here. They bought up big in this round for exactly this purpose, and Olafmeister opens nicely. Now they have the 2v2. Even in numbers, Deadfox is not watching. Hey, man, this could be nasty.
But I like Deadfox keeping control of this, because normally that's the way back into the site. You keep forklift control, you keep everything under wraps, but no, Crims somehow wins that out. And now the bomb plant's pretty decent here, actually, for 0, but will he expect the straight fight? It doesn't matter if he predicted it or not. He'll still win it out, try and get the AWP from his fallen teammate, but not to be. Didn't get it in the end, but they're fine on money. You got full money on 2 players, so no worries about that. Deadfox is sitting very, very comfortably. And it looks like HellRaisers have got such a nice plan here. And I wouldn't say this is the normal HellRaisers side either. It's very mindful of your playing Fnatic. It seems very, very kind of crafted towards that. Not completely different, no. But you can see that first minute is spent getting like a little bit of control, and then they'll retake the territory very carefully.
It's funny how they almost earn Fnatic's respect by respecting Fnatic. You know, like sort of knowing they're going to come forward. The CT pushes in towards things like A main, great example. Deadfox waits for the peak, knows it's going to come because Fnatic are that team that's going to look just to try and take jewels and get advantages over the map. Not this time. Dennis and 0 are going head-to-head over at B. But he's only got himself a Desert Eagle. Flusher playing close. Again, hoping maybe a second wave of this aggression might actually pay off. He's not even sure if he wants to go for it, though. Just shoulder peeking that doorway at the moment.
Still need to find out if there's a stack or anything else going on. They don't have any A main control, but it looks like a B approach anyway.
Oh, Bondic.
Oh, Bondic.
Done well. Done very well to get away with that one.
How
Jumps across the opening. Oh, it's just beautiful. Crims not wielding a high fire rate weapon there, so it's hard to punish that kind of movement. That's Dennis, though. First headshot coming in. The second is going to be there. No, not quite enough, though. 0 responds quickly enough, and Fnatic have to make their way across the map here to try and stand up. HellRaisers have so much money right now, Lauren. Fnatic have so very little, and they continually make investments.
And no kit, no utility. Playing this retake is going to be hard work, and they know it now. It's down to the 1v1. Deadfox already has the angle. He knows where Flusher is. But these are the rounds where Flusher can do things that can blow your mind. We'll see if that comes through. He's actually opting for the CZ for now. Deadfox still playing default, and he's just spotting them out. They know where each other are. But Flusher has no kit. Down to 6 bullets now in the clip, and he's going to try and take the fight, but he whiffs it. Goes back out towards the rifle, but it's too little too late. As Deadfox was there, ready with a Glock to hand, and HellRaisers' T-side is looking very nice.
How's that for pressure, though? Getting pushed by Flusher in a 1v1 with the CZ. I'm sure definitely a bit of a mental game there as well for Deadfox trying to keep things together, but he did well. Switch to the Glock. He managed to utilize the fact that Flusher, whether he intentionally or unintentionally picked up that AK, it stopped him dead in his tracks. 9-3. This is starting to blow out of proportion in a big way, and Fnatic can make another investment of double AWPs back into this round to try and swing it in their favor.
Well, there is the phrase, risk it for a biscuit. And it looks like Fnatic like that phrase indeed. Dennis, up close. Gonna find one this time. That's good for him. I don't know if there's any more to follow. Sticko was very, very quick to go for it. And Olofmeister, I think he got flashed off the angle and Deadfox was waiting for it. So they're reading this Fnatic play very well. That double man stack, whenever they get the double AWPs, it seems to be a possible thing that they go to, is putting Dennis and Olofmeister towards either, you know, boosting one up to vent, putting two in towards checkers, Olaf at the back box. And HellRaisers haven't really made much more of a move than that.
And I think they're fine with that.
Yeah.
This kind of emulates what we've seen from HellRaisers in the last few rounds. They got a whole minute to work with. We saw, I mean, a couple of rounds ago, they left it to like 20 seconds before they planted the bomb, and that was totally fine by them. Their execution has been very decisive.
Now, because they don't have middle control, JW's position can work out so much better here. No pressure coming in from Highway, nor Squeaky at this point, so he can back away freely. But he should be expecting a bit more pressure than this. He's kind of taking his time on this one, looking for maybe a little smoke there. Doesn't have time for it. Squeaky's now open. He knows the game's afoot, and he gets the tag towards Bonding. That plays in Flusher perfectly. And it's Deadfox now with it all to do.
This would be a big job for the young man now, working his way towards the side. Bomb it down. Fnatic give a little bit of room. They may not even know the Deadfox has gotten in so close, but it's bottled out and he's taken down. Flusher to find him. 3 kills for Flusher in that round, including the crucial 2-man spray that really stopped HellRaisers in their tracks just as they were going for the killing blow.
If there was more of a mid-pinch, if there was more of some other pressure from any other angle, JW would have been maybe a little more uncomfortable than he was sat there. He seemed so fine to be just sat there, you know, facing towards main. There was nothing coming through middle at that point. But, you know, at the moment, HellRaisers are doing fine. I can't sit here and critique them when they're up, you know, 9-4. They're playing very, very well. So credit to them for keeping this one in and just keeping Fnatic on their toes, who never felt like they were in charge here.
Kind of uncharacteristic that last round, the HellRaisers opted not to go for that mid-control, or not at least to try and get some or use it, even with the man advantage. But that's the way it is now. Olofmeister, again, he's playing very deep with this AWP. It didn't work in his favor last time he made this move, and in that round, HellRaisers really deconstructed the double AWP setup of Fnatic by killing JW and Olofmeister first. This time, JW at least is going to play a bit more passively, and Olofmeister dropped back in towards checkers, but HellRaisers want to try and test again towards Squeaky. It's almost as if they know, if there's a double AWP, get a pop flash in here. But JW's not going to be waiting for it. He's changed up.
Still have 2 mollies. Deadfox and Bondic both have one of those, but neither of them are. Oh my god, they kind of lined up for that. But finding Flusher quickly is very good news for HellRaisers. Now they're going to pounce, and JW can't handle it. Too many bodies right in front of him, and now they've got the site under wraps completely. The 2 players playing back into this don't really have much of a step, and Angel pushed up this far. It's going to make it even harder for Dennis, and there it is. Almost a sealed deal now, as Olofmeister completely denied.
So Fnatic, the frustration's starting to creep in now because they didn't play aggressively on the CT side on A in that round. JW wasn't in Squeaky, there was no one flashed into A main, and still the execution from HellRaisers was so concise and so effective. Bondic's first kill, that was massive. That put so much pressure on JW, forced him back towards NBK, and he was gunned down where he stood.
Oh. Still crisp. Let's not take away anything from the individual here. But will he be able to keep hold of this AWP? Oh my god, Olofmeister. It does get caught in the end, and HellRaisers can do it. They can happily chase because they have so much money still left over. You still got 9k on Sticko.
1.4.
And you can imagine how nice that would have been to be able to have that AWP in hand. They could have maybe dropped it out, got a little something building off the back of it. Now, nah, just CZs, you know, UMPs.
And it's round 15, and HellRaisers have kept this sort of amount of money going for quite some time. Yeah, 0 back for the revolver again. I mean, last round of the half, you often do buy an upgraded pistol. That's why we see Tech 9's there as well. But he'll go for it. He seems to fancy it. Maybe he knows something we don't, or that Henry hasn't told us.
Yeah, I think Henry's up to something. I think maybe there's a meta building.
Oh, he always is, though. You know him. He gives you that coy look. You know what he's about.
And look at this, HellRaisers, you know, they're feeling it now. They're starting to feel the game individually. Everyone's doing their job too. There's not been like 1 or 2 players, you know, doing massive amounts in comparison to the others. Everyone is holding their own. Crim's trying to turn the flash there from his teammate, and good connection, but just couldn't land the shot in the end. And Dennis watching that cross like a hawk, but eventually Deadfox was waiting with the AWP. So HellRaisers with an astounding T-side here, reading Fnatic like an absolute book.
Yeah, the horns are out. Now it's time for the Swedes to come up with their response going on to the T-side themselves, but that's going to be in the next half, and that's going to be after a short break, so we'll catch you in a few. Lauren. That trademark disrespect, that aggression from Fnatic foiled time after time in these rounds. As Fnatic try to get these advantages on the CT side, but the HellRaisers just steamroll over the top of them. This is a considerable lead to take into half-time. It's 11-4, and if you've missed it, HellRaisers have had Fnatic's number.
At the start of the game, I thought this was going to be the Fnatic show. But then once you got into those gun rounds, everything looked so good. HellRaisers had the perfect approach to handle that Fnatic style. That aggressive CT side that they love to run was met by sheer cerebral play coming out from HellRaisers, and individually they were certainly on point too. Now, can they keep up though? Can Fnatic bring the game back here? Known for that powerful play, individually incredibly strong, and we need to see some of that now on their T side in just a moment's time.
No doubt about it. Going to be jumping in just a few moments here in HellRaisers, if you think back to the previous map as well. Interesting performances from them, I think, for the most part. Definitely didn't have the result they were hoping for, so this is where they want to turn up the heat. This is really where they want to make Fnatic work. They struggled against the double AWP setup against Fnatic on the prior map. That was Cobblestone if you're just joining us. But like I said, it depends on the map. It's very map specific because every time Fnatic pulled them out, and the first time we saw them in this game, Olofmeister got completely smashed on B, and JW was read like a book. It was a pop flash in towards long A, and he had no chance of getting away. He tried to back away and run down the corridor, but he was caught and taken down.
And I'm kind of curious how much work they've put into this one, HellRaisers. This looks like they've really put in their time towards looking at Fnatic's game style, or maybe just, you know, understanding how Fnatic like to play and then kind of applying it to this map in theory works quite nicely, and it's worked out so well with them. And look at that scoreline, so drastically in favor to HellRaisers. You got to feel that they should be able to close this one out. I don't know, it's still Fnatic, right? You've seen them come back in to these situations so many times and actually win them out. I remember some of the biggest comebacks are, you know, have been with Fnatic there. You know, the infamous call the timeout and there's the turnaround for you. But
there wasn't one.
There wasn't, and it looks like HellRaisers, the way they're playing, it's not just, you know, a shoddy approach or a hoping it works approach. It's a well-theoried approach. It's a well-crafted idea of this. So again, I'm kind of curious to see how well this plays out in the second half.
Well, the reality is Fnatic won the pistol round the next two. Then HellRaisers go on to win 9 rounds in a row, and then Fnatic win 1 round only to be reset straight after. It's kind of the horror scenario in the first half, the stuff you hate to see, as Henry would put it. But HellRaisers played around it so admirably as well. And the thing is, they would spend a whole minute in the round waiting for Fnatic to go for aggressive peeks.
Yeah.
You know, someone peek in the middle, someone peek in A main, and when they get that kill on towards Crims in the middle of the map, you know, if they spray him down or whatever they do, they play a couple players up on boost. They have so much control to wrap on towards A. It's a lot easier, obviously, to wrap the A site than the B site from mid, just because of the angle of access it gives you. If you try to wrap B, you still end up in checkers, and it's not so direct. And they use that very, very effectively here. So Fnatic gave too many kills away early on in the game. If you give HellRaisers a man advantage in this round, it seems that they do more with it than any other team that we've seen lately. But let's jump in now. It's time to start things off. Pistol round, HellRaisers on that CT side. No revolver, sadly enough, here for Zero. He fancies a more standard approach.
Bear in mind, this would be the 8th win in a row for HellRaisers on this map if they pick it up. And that's including people like FaZe, North 2 times, and Flipside as well. So it's, you know, as much as we're saying this seems like a very crafted piece towards Fnatic, maybe they just like this map as well. It certainly helps. And as we're seeing, Dennis is not going to go down without a fight, but Bondix, what? How has no one checked on quad? How has he been able to stay here? You've got a bomb plant going down and no one's bothered to check it. Crim's going to have to play back to the wall CS here, but somehow it's worked out for him. 2v2 retake.
Yeah, a desperate turnaround. It could have gone either way, Lauren, but with the bomb down, at least these two HellRaisers players are playing up together. Dennis gets caught out. Now, Crims has to face down 2 with 21 points of health. Make that 6. There's no kit for HellRaisers. They give it a tickle anyway, and they're still going to have time to defuse. And that is a nightmare for Fnatic now. To lose the pistol rounds with such a deficit, Fnatic were in a similar position in that first game, up 12-6. But this is even worse.
Bearing in mind, the vast majority of rounds that Fnatic have sitting with them currently were because of that pistol round that they picked up in the first half. You think of it now, it's like, well, you're kind of screwed if you're not able to win this one out, boys. You know, it had to start there, and well,
and you can see it like.
Oh, they're going for the old rifle. Oh, yeah. I guess they kind of have to buy everything they can in this. You can't really wait this one out.
Well, no, because it gets to the point really when the HellRaisers are getting too many rounds. You let the next 2 go by, it's 14-4. Bob's your uncle. So 2 AKs forced in here, still with armor and helmets there. Crims is a little bit light on that particular gear. He's going to have to work with just the Desert Eagle. We've seen him do more with less.
opposite nade.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, that not normally the grenade of choice for that particular spot, but it still finds its mark. A bit of damage there. There's Flusher. Finds Sticko, middle of the map.
Angel is now waiting. I don't know if they'd expect someone so quickly to take up the mantle on Highway, and they certainly get caught out by it, but now the rifles come into play. JW took a lot of damage in that fight, though, which is a problem. And the other player who had the rifle, I think it was Olofmeister, already went down, obviously.
So down in mid too.
This is tough. They can't recover that too comfortably at all. So at this point, it's down to the Deagles, too. They have to depend on people like Crims to land shots, and he has. Angel's head rolls down Highway. And he's going to have to do some more. Zero and Deadfox playing on this retake. They do have a kit. They have a flash and a smoke left as well. But players to get through. Crims, the first to fall. Dennis still stands. And you've got JW in main.
What can he do from main? JW's the man I'm looking at more than anything. Well, there you go. He finds Zero, but what was on screen was Dennis getting the headshot on towards Deadfox. Comfortable. Fnatic take the risk, take the gambit, as they often do, and they win the round out.
Lovely.
Chris clean lock. Nicely done.
I guess you can depend on people like Dennis to land these shots more often than not, and that's the scary part, isn't it? It's like, there's a very few people that you kind of think, with you know, a Deagle in hand, you expect it to work. Oh, we've got the R8. Zero, please. Please, observers. Zero. Can we watch Zero? Observers? Yeah. Oh, this is awkward.
Slight delay. There it is, boys. All right.
Nailed it. I'm happy.
Yeah, there's that slight cocking animation there as well. Quite annoying. Smoke, that's going to go towards Toxic. Dennis is adamant that someone is playing close to Squeaky. Olofmeister is inside Squeaky itself, I believe.
No, I'm on the box.
Okay.
Close.
I was looking straight at him, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I was looking at the minimap. That's my problem.
But, you know, Fnatic haven't really gained much in this round yet. Obviously, they've gone 1-for-1, and they do have far greater weapons. But there's still a threat on the board. But Bondik's very alone at A. There's no one else really with him. They've got the two players over by B. So they've gambled, you know, hoping there was a bit of a B play, but isn't the case. Angel doesn't have his head anymore, so he's not a problem.
Probably needs that.
Are they going to check on this? Yeah, they do. Crim's not going to let an inch go to waste at this point. Smart play from him just to clear all the corners, molly out MBK, and then just kind of focus his way through. Deadfox going to pick up the Deagle off his teammate, but he's still got 4 people to find. They are a little tagged up, but this is a bomb plant and probably a very clean round for Fnatic.
Yeah, Deadfox is pretty much dead to rights. No armor for him, and now Fnatic can actually build something up here. And in much the same way that HellRaisers did in the first half, getting themselves up to... We're going to watch this, are we? Right. So you can see that you need to almost lead in a way with this particular weapon. That's, I guess, the justification for its low price point, given its damage. You can see it plays out a little bit differently to the Desert Eagle, although now packs much more of the same punch. And reliability is what's probably the strongest aspect of this weapon.
JW's on it. I like it. Has he bought anything else? I hope not. I hope he's just got this. And it is Zeros. Oh, this is lovely. Go on. Go on, JW.
Go on.
Go on.
Oh, hello.
Shit.
Airstrike. That's nasty.
That's what you get. JW is like, all right, boys, this is going to be fun. And then just gets absolutely decked out.
What you get when you let your heart win, Lauren. You just want to play with...
all right, Paramore. Calm down, Haley.
Oh, man. I miss those guys. So good. Anyway, Crims made his way towards Squeaky. We saw HellRaisers getting that first pick. That was Angel with the Desert Eagle. So that's nasty. Fnatic almost down a total of 2 players. JW's down to 8. Pistols are good in CSGO.
They're in the right position for this. You've got 2 on Highway, 2 CT now.
Oh, I like this boost.
A boost up.
They still have mid control.
Spots out ahead. Angel's found JW. There's a quick response, though. Dennis and Flush are keeping this one almost in check. The bomb's not down yet, but it's working its way to site. Angel's kind of snuck his way in, but he can't achieve too much from that position. He's kind of outnumbered, outgunned, and right now he's out of options here. Sticko gonna find Flusher somehow with a P2K, but that's about it. Still making it costly considering they did have rifles there, so not the worst thing in the world aside from JW.
Tough round to observe that one. You can see just how quickly those kills came through. Fnatic are really comfortable playing this kind of contact scenario. You see them make their way in. They're set up on the site. They're established to a degree. You've got a player over towards MBK as we're seeing Flusher get the spray down. So a lot of security in that for him.
And here's the buyback. This is where things get interesting, isn't it? Finally, we see HellRaisers with a decent buy. We also see the same for Fnatic. They've got that, AWP coming up for Olofmeister. He's picking up over JW on T side. Maybe had a better spawn, maybe just feeling it. And for now, we'll see what Fnatic can bring. We saw what HellRaisers T side looked like, and maybe we'll see something just as impressive from the Swedes.
That's the question. Do HellRaisers go for some of that little bit of aggression early in the round, or do they just try and hold? Do they turtle up? That can hurt you on this map, especially if the enemy team has mid control. which they don't. JW's passively watching in towards the vents here. Almost daring, almost baiting HellRaisers to come forward and actually try and get there. But you don't see mid to late round plays for mid control outside of the first few seconds when there's a smoke inside the door as you make your way through. So HellRaisers are unlikely to really change things up too much at this point. I think they sit back on this for now, and you can see Fnatic content to do. The difference between these two teams is that Fnatic give early kills to CT sides, whereas HellRaisers, or to T side, should I say, HellRaisers not about that life.
But look at how slow and cautious Fnatic are. They're under a minute, and they've just kind of set up a little bit of a mid-presence, but overall, very, very slow from Fnatic. This is a very different look for them.
I don't love it.
playing out this one well. Crims goes down, and now we're seeing the play towards main beginning. Olaf Meister going to claim the soul of Angel there from up on rafters, and a nice little swing out from Dennis. This is looking like maybe that late hit might work out, but down quite low on time now, 20 seconds. If someone can hinder the bomb's approach, this could be problematic, but the Molly's going to buy them a little bit of time here, and yeah, this could be retake territory. I'm wondering... Oh, no, it's not Dead Fox there. I was hoping we could have seen that Molly to the site, possibly, if they had that, the player on truck.
Olaf Meister needs to be careful here. If he's so adamantly expecting a flank, he'll render himself useless in the incoming push. I think it's been communicated to him that there are 3 HellRaisers players in the vicinity. Olaf doesn't connect with that first shot. Dennis found his, but Sticko's on top of him. Now the spray down towards MBK, but he's out of bullets. Needs to reload, and that's enough time for Flusher to get away. He tries to anticipate the peak, but no, doesn't time it quite well enough. And Sticko's on the red container. Dennis is so low, 7 points of help, but he's playing cat and mouse. He's so hard to find, and Sticko doesn't have a kit. There's not going to be enough time for him if he's not careful. And no, he needs to back away and give that round over to Fnatic. They keep a cap on the money for the Swedes, but that's all they'll get done in this round.
So close there. Sticko was panicking like a madman as well, just looking for any possible victim he could find. It felt as though maybe he knew where he was for a second there, but at the end of the day, he did land it, but just a little bit too late. Nicely done by Fnatic in the end, but that felt very last minute almost, right down to those last couple of seconds. And as I said, I'd have loved to have seen Dead Fox, the player who had the molly, or anyone who had a molly at that truck spot, because you can still do that molly on towards the site. And it's back, boys. I love a bit of the revolver. Yeah,
I mean, what that did that last round, I talk about keeping a cap on the money. Dennis had like 11K, but he was forced to drop out for 1, if not 2 players. So that sort of big bank that he's been sitting on is gone. And Sticko, the only man with an AK, saving it from the prior round, exercises mid-control. JW's down, and that's big. That means the HellRaisers can easily get the highway rotation going.
How accurate is the R8? Like,
I believe quite. I mean, I remember, if Zero took any damage getting up there, he would have been dead. Quite accurate, to my understanding. Yeah, because of the delay there. We actually saw that during the death segment, him shooting at the wall.
Interesting to see if he gets something done. Oh, that's awkward for Flusher, isn't it? It's like, hey, do you remember the CZ? Do you remember this? Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Flusher looks down at the weapon. His life drains from him. I made you. Not today.
Yeah, 3 players left for Fnatic, and there's still the 2 players on 8 kind of dug in pretty deep. You've got Sticko over by Quad, and he's the kind of main man. He was the one to be like, you know, the bigger impact here because he's got the rifle. So at this point, we'll see if he can do any more with it. This could be quite worrisome for Fnatic. They're down to 40 seconds. They do have a molly, so they could clip. Oh, that's awkward. And here it comes. This shot gets landed. It's game on. This is problematic. Bomb's now down. Sticko just needs to stay alive and buy time. Wait for those rotates to come in. Don't take a needless fight. And I think he just saw the bomb being picked up by Dennis, but Dennis will not miss. Dennis is holding this one together pretty nicely for Fnatic so far, but he's still in a 1v2.
Zero has a Desert Eagle, but no armor, and he needs to be very careful and respect it, but no, he gives none of it. He just stands his ground, plants his feet, and plants a bullet between the eyes of Dennis. HellRaisers get that round back. That's big. With the prior round, all of Fnatic dying, all the money they had to spend to buy back up on this round is definitely going to keep them honest. Yeah,
the money might be a little bit more depleted here. Not by much. You might see about 2 or 3 players
Another round to go, but still, Olaf was down to 50.
Thanks for that, observers. I saw the production for a second.
Okay.
But no, yeah, you can see a little bit of an awkward amount coming into this one. A couple of players probably being dropped out. You can see, yeah, Crims had to expend everything. He had 7K, so he's had to drop a couple of players out on his side. Still got a UMP on Flusher, and then a decent buy now for HellRaisers as well. So swings and roundabouts in the money system, but we'll see. We'll see if it actually comes through, if anything actually, you know, comes of this, you know, approach that we're now seeing Fnatic have of having to operate with far less. Dead Fox, you're feeling brave. Doing this against Fnatic, love it. Backs away, expect Squeaky if he hit that. That would have been so sick. But yeah, a quick exchange now. Fnatic regained so much power so quickly.
Give them an inch and they'll take a mile. Olaf Meister now to plant down. And the rest of HellRaisers probably need a save. No option to really go for anything more for them. They're down to awkward levels of money. Zero's got about 5k in his pocket, but HellRaisers starting to realise this could be a little bit of a long haul. Fnatic seem a lot more comfortable on the T side, especially where they can dictate the pace of the game, but their hits have just been so clean so far, Lauren. When you see players like Crims just walk in and get 2 kills very comfortably. I thought Deadfox had a real opportunity when he switched over towards Squeaky, but...
Yeah.
Oh, Sticko, no. Yes. Yes. Yes and no. Yeah, nah. Zero down. JW managed to dig them out of their hiding spots, and that's not great for HellRaisers. As you can see, the money's super skewed across the team in the direction of Zero and Angel. What do you do?
Yeah, swings and roundabouts, eh? You've got 3 players you can buy 2 who are down to near on double eco territory. It's a bit awkward for HellRaisers. So they might just chill
Take the safe
out.
option.
Yeah, why not? They've still got rounds. They're still on 13-9. Zero's going to treat himself. Little P2 crispy. JW.
Doesn't find any damage with that shot.
No, it looked like it was on. Maybe just through the... I don't know. It did look like it was on, even though it's through the side of the box. You'd still expect some damage to come in. Anyway, Olaf is off. He's on the hunt. Run, rabbit, run. Bondit can't get far away enough, and Olaf is having his way with HellRaisers right now. Nothing to be said beyond that one, because this is an absolute bloodbath.
Yep, it's going to be tied up nice and quickly, so we don't really need to agonise over the matter too much. But Fnatic have brought themselves back within 3 rounds. There were 7 rounds out from HellRaisers total coming into half-time. They've made up a good chunk of that here and can continue to do so now that the money is flowing yet again. HellRaisers, on the other hand, it's a bit of a different story. Bondit comes into this round with 3.6k. Might be a UMP, a little bit of something. Or just nothing at all. How interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sorting themselves out here.
Me. This is awkward. Come on, boys. There we go.
It's fine, because Sticko's still got a good mid-spawn. He was there in time. Deadfox finds Flusher. The late B presence for Deadfox actually working out. Flusher wasn't ready for that timing, perhaps.
Yeah, I guess. It's an awkward way it pans
No, let's
out.
be honest. It had nothing to do with it. Flusher just got wrecked, but...
You never know. You're trying to find a silver lining here for him. Sticko's about to be overwhelmed massively. 4 players barreling down towards mid. The nuke comes in. JW there, looking to follow it up, but no one's really giving away much. HellRaisers just smoking out everything like, no, don't want any of that. Sod off. We'll play passive. You've got Sticko holding right at the back of connector in case one tries to slip through, but it looks like they could be converging towards B.
Unlike other maps, the mid control that Fnatic have now doesn't prevent HellRaisers from rotating. It just means they can only do it from 1 or 2 angles instead of the potential 3 to 4 if they were able to use checkers. So Fnatic's bearing that in mind right now. They're saying, okay, HellRaisers don't know that they can come into mid. They won't know for the next 10 to 15 seconds, and they have to check it. Now they're going to hit this side pretty hard. Deadfox missing the shot. Oh, again, Fnatic, their executions. So clean. Take hardly any damage with that. That really hurts when you've got 2 players. And this is the problem with teams that turtle sometimes, or don't go for CT aggression to try and mess the flow up. It can be very, very hard to be ready and sharp as you need to be with the timing that the T's actually hit those sites. This is a bit sloppy as well. Deadfox missing that shot. It's going to hurt.
That can't be right. Olaf Meister's score. What the?
No, he reconnected.
Oh, it was the halftime thing,
Yeah.
right? I was just looking at like, but still. Overall, the thing is, like, as much as Fnatic, you can read their game plan, you can understand what they do, but it doesn't mean you'll outdo the individual players, right? They are so incredibly talented individually. Bondit just up on that little further jump. You go to the electric box in Squeaky, well, kind of in the back corners of it. But that's the thing, it's like every single player on this team can have those big games. There's a discussion point we'll often have that if you get 2 of them turning up, you're always going to have a tough game, and it doesn't matter who it is. It could be any of them. Dennis has a big game, you're in trouble. The same can be said for every single player on that board. But a bit of a technical pause coming in. I think Fnatic might have had an issue or 2. Hopefully that gets resolved nice and quickly. They don't want to lose that momentum. They're certainly building back into this game at 13-11.
Well, Fnatic are pretty serious about their playing conditions as well.
What are the server conditions like today?
Sunny with a light chance of 40 ping by the looks of things. It seems fine. I mean, was it Fnatic that had the quibbles? No, it was Oscar.
No,
I've called him out. Yeah, no, I remember I was recording something in Katowice in front of the Fnatic team. I was doing... Oh, I was recording a 360 VR video for a bunch of guys from California, and Fnatic asked us to move because the camera, because I wasn't standing in front of the camera, I wasn't standing in front of them. The camera was placed about 3 meters in front of their table, and it was quite distracting. This big black thing just sitting there. We
Look,
weren't even
Mice is probably
filming them
having
necessarily.
flashbacks, that's the problem.
Yeah. Either way, look, that's fine, and that's their prerogative. That's not my point. My point is that they like a very sterile environment to play.
So one thing I got to note is the double smokes towards middle, right? It's a nice idea if you actually utilize it. Now, they did the double smokes, but they didn't do anything off the back of it, and now it's allowed a push to come through because Angel's just gone and gone, all right, you didn't push through that, so we know what you're doing. You're nowhere near us, and one HP ain't much, but might be able to work something out of this. Will they expect Angel to still be up there? That's the next big question. He's still up on top, and he's going to have an angle on this. Yeah, they're going to check it. Nicely done from Flusher. Had far more HP to play with, and Olaf Meister in the meantime finding Bonding.
They have to know he's there because they Molotov the bottom of it, and they had a player sitting on the other side. They should have known that he probably would have died or at least jumped out. So luckily, they had enough information to make an informed decision there. Now, Dead Fox is super low and only has the M4. Yeah, you're not one tick and you're done. Ooh, gets away. Only 3 damage, but then Flusher finds him. Okay, now it's butt clench central for HellRaisers. They were comfortably ahead, but they haven't been able to read Fnatic's pattern so far. That's allowed players like JW to have 12.5k come into the round. It's just been a slew of rounds, one after another. And HellRaisers have to find a solution here. Turtling up on the site is not going to work. They tried a bit of CT aggression in the last round with the counter boost. It sort of worked, but Fnatic came up with the correct answer, mollying off the right side and getting both those players down.
Fnatic's T side, I always find it's where you see most of their kind of prowess individually, right? You see that kind of like flair being able to work off each other, that kind of a clean, calm approach, that kind of just, you know, intuitive play almost. But we are going to see in the kind of 3 squeaky 1 main. I have the smoke and flash card. No, they're just going in dry. This is very unique. Bondit can't handle it either. Just too many bodies staring him down and too much aim to be able to be controlled. And Angel just kind of staring down the barrel of, well, Fnatic about even with us. It's going to be 13-13. This
is so nasty because Fnatic, so they go in dry essentially, which means they can play ahead of the smokes. So the smokes, all the utility now is safe for the afterplant situation, which HellRaisers were already forced into a retake because of how fast Fnatic were. Now the retake's so much harder when there's 2, maybe even 3 waves of smokes to those crucial spots. But it's a 4v3. It's even now. Olaf Meister catches out Sticko. HellRaisers have to go. They've got no choice. They're running out of time. They've only got 1 kid.
Olaf Meister just spraying, and he knows he's going to be doing damage. It's time to back away, boys. You don't have... Did not have enough time for that. Crims does mop up the final 2 in the end. And all he had to do was slow them down. And 13-13 will be the scoreline. A quick update as well, if I'm not mistaken, between VP and NIP right now. It was, in the end, NIP to close out Cobblestone 16-9. So the first map did go VP's way, the second NIP's.
Funny, any other era would be a hot match of the week candidate easily. Now it's just, wow.
You mean the Zinger match?
Series. The Zinger match?
The Zinger Tower match of the week.
Yes. Is this a Zinger Tower? Is that a thing?
In England it is.
Zinger is it like a KFC burger?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man.
Love a bit of it.
I mean, is that some unnamed chicken outlet's burger?
No, KFC's.
Okay.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Want to sponsor us?
KFC, pay me.
Get in touch.
Pay me. All right, so it's pause time again.
Did you ever have those popcorn chicken pieces?
Yeah, they were great.
But there was, I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember, or if it was a thing outside of anywhere in England. I will get back to a point at some point. But they used to do like the extra flavor. You could like get a little sachet of like extra delightfulness, and it'd have be like in a little shaker. Have your chicken popcorn in there. Have a little bit of extra flavor. Whack it in, shake it up.
They
Delicious.
did that at Oporto, my favourite Portuguese chicken store in Australia.
Love it.
Yeah, it's totally run by Australians. It's like formed in Sydney, but it's amazing. It's really good. Shout out to Milesies. Don't get Nando's. It's trash. Get a Porto.
Hey, Nando's is fine. No, this is the thing, right? Everyone always has a go. You're like, oh, you're British. All you lot just like Nando's. Ha 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 ha. Nando's is fine, right? It's perfectly fine.
It's fine.
But everyone's like overhypes it. It's just cheap, good chicken.
It
right?
kills me because it's a cultural thing. It's like cheeky Nando's run boys AA.
No.
Not really buying into it, guys. Sorry.
Nah.
You were not a thing. It's okay.
But it's fine. You know, if I want a little cheap little top up of a meal, no worries. Happy with it.
Stop making it more than it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the popcorn chicken shake is what it was called. There you go.
Shout out to the Colonel.
Yep. But now we're going to see HellRaisers on the back foot here, and they have been seemingly this entire half. Fnatic coming out swinging here, not having any of what... Hello. That's awkward. You're going to die anyway, but I like it. I like the impact there, Zero. Just...
That's good. I mean, you trade 1 for 1 on the site that's not stacked. That's decent for HellRaisers there. There's probably more than you can hope for in a round like this. Still... forced into a retake, Fnatic, again, they play ahead of their utility. So they hit that site without smoking heaven or lobby or anything. And it puts you, it's such an oppressive position to play from now. Because they could just go, oh, I'm just going to smoke Heaven again. 25 seconds later, just going to smoke it again. And one more time. You actually don't have time to deal with that as HellRaisers. You can't wait through, especially when you can only gun from lower or upper, as you can see on your screen. Okay, Crims, respect. Come on now, Freddy. Okay, it's just Sticko left here. He finds another headshot. P250's very balanced weapons.
Oh, that could have been a spicy meatball, but it wasn't. I'm just hungry, I think.
Yeah,
right
well,
now.
all this food talk.
Food a lot, yeah.
Well, I mean, have you eaten this evening?
I'm not allowed to discuss that.
Oh, really?
I'll be told off again. But no, the tuna somewhat sliced.
No, I broke a tooth. Anyway. Anyway, it's not as bad as the pizza I had in Krefeld. I was actually there with a couple of players at the Take Studios.
Oh, yeah.
Someone literally broke their tooth on a pizza.
Nice. Dead Fox, though, on the angle. This could be lovely for him. Flash doesn't blind him, but he still doesn't land the shot, and there's just a leaping man his way. It was Flusher! And Dead Fox, perfect adjustment. Not going to miss that one, and now he's going to be pressured from the other side. He's depending. He's banking on Zero to have his back quite literally at this point. It does allow him to go for one more. Spots out the two players, retreating for now. If you know Fnatic, they'll never fully back away from a fight, and Sticko goes there, and he takes another one towards him.
Fantastic game for Sticko, just punctuated by that last kill there. One in this round, and Crims is on his own now, the 1v4. Now, Fnatic had a lot of money. There's so much money here, so they buy up for the rest of the game at this stage, or at least the rest of regulation. Crims goes down, and yes, HellRaisers bring it back even. This is getting a little bit close now. Maybe they start to get a feel for what Fnatic are doing. They did have the correct number of players sort of working over towards B. They received Fnatic nicely, but Fnatic's A hit, that's what's scarier, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to handle, right? They got mid control. They don't necessarily get mid control, but they'll pressure mid, then they'll do the A hit. And it's so hard, you never feel comfortable on it, right? But we've got a good buy coming from HellRaisers and another good one from Fnatic. And maybe that tactical timeout definitely helped HellRaisers. First round, they've really kind of looked convincing in at this point, and I'm wondering what the plan is now. If you're HellRaisers, you think, oh, well, it didn't work out B, well, maybe they're just going to switch up and try and hit A, right? It's been working for them until this point. So the main man's... Oh, God, I've been thinking about London too much. Main man over by B is still Dead Fox. He's not going to have much play into this round just yet. He did very well with Zero. That crossfire was so on point. GW being baited out to take a shot, gonna have to back away. Now, Fnatic have been kind of thwarted from that initial pressure they like to throw towards A. They lost out on the first man, Dennis, who's actually been coming up very big, and another flash comes through. They hear the rifle go off. All right, 2 players towards A. Now they're starting to get a picture, but they can't overread into it just yet.
Starting to be like the Zach Galifianakis with all the numbers and formulas coming in front of him. That's Fnatic right now. Getting a feel for how much resources HellRaisers have committed towards A. Now they actually go for mid here. This is interesting. In the mid to late round, there's that smoke in towards the other side, so they feel like they've got it, but Sticko's waiting here. Normally, a player here so late in the round is unexpected, unprecedented even. It's the trade, though. That's all Sticko gets, but Zero could pressure off the back of that one. He chooses actually to wait and just hide, and maybe not even try and use that distraction factor to make his move. So, who knows what he could have gotten for it? He opts to stay alive now, and that for HellRaisers is more important. Not giving Fnatic free kills. Forcing them to work for they're a man down, so Fnatic can't trade 1-for-1 anymore. It's just maths. Time is also very low, 23 seconds of the round, and Fnatic running out of options.
If these two on A can just hinder them, they know they're in a good spot. Problem is they've just lost Angel and they've just lost Bombing. There's the A side, 12 seconds did remain, but the bomb's gonna go down with no one able to stop it. And this is gonna be Fnatic surely onto 15. This is a very tough retake between Dead Fox and Zero. They have no real step to the site, no real idea as to where they are. There's still a man by truck they have to get past, and that's going to be Flusher. Checking deep, it doesn't matter. Flusher's there, he finds it. And there you go. Trading out well was Crims. Flusher did fall, but it didn't matter. Round on the board now, 15 for Fnatic.
And, I mean, here's that entry for Crims. He makes his way over on towards A. Now, Flusher came from mid, so Fnatic paid quite dearly for that mid control, with Sticko lying in wait late into the round over to buy sandbags. They have to go 1-for-1 on that, and they're in a 3v4. It's not looking good. But they know HellRaisers are going to have at least one player at B, so that gives them a man-to-man equality there, you know, 3v3, and they're able to wrap on towards the site via highway.
And now Crims with the ult. Maybe just had the spawn, but it's Dennis to get things kicked off here. Zero going down over by B means the Dead Fox is very much all alone.
Crims is buying an AK and spawn during the buy time. Or picking one up, should I say.
Why not? They've had plenty of money here. So if you had a front spawn or a good spawn, buy an AWP for yourself, drop a rifle and spawn, and then you can just go back and pick it up if you don't get anything. Nice idea.
Last round of regulation, can spend the money. Didn't quite work out, but he had quite a fast spawn for it.
But the more important thing is they did get that first pick. Zero being removed means that B's weaker. You can maybe expect them to try and stack a player over, maybe mean that mid is now a little bit more open. But that's a lot of assumptions here. And Fnatic, well, they've been doing these A hits so well until now.
3 in A main, 1 in Squeaky. 4 players in total, pressuring A, albeit HellRaisers not aware yet. Door open. Angel, oh. I tell you what, timing's pretty crazy in this game. I'm not sure if we would have seen Angel anyway, but maybe in the flashing towards A main, and Angel is made one himself. Goes down, he challenges out the trade between him and Crims. And HellRaisers lacking players. Fnatic have the local numbers advantage, at least on this side. But mid control, what does it do? Dennis is there. Oh, it's HellRaisers turning tail and trying to run away.
How has he been allowed to get away with this? How is no one considering that being a factor? Nice deep nade. Keeps him off the angle, allows the cross to come in for JW. Dennis can now watch that smoke on the very verge of it, making sure no one's going to push through. Maybe expecting a flash there, wasn't to be. Dead Fox up on the close wall. Perfect vision for Dennis. And he's having a whale of a time this map. Perfectly played out, but it's down to Sticko in a 1v2. He's got a kid, he's got a deagle, and he's got a headshot. Dennis goes down. It's a 1v1. He tags up JW, but it's not enough for the kill. 4 HP now, he needs the 3k to get this, and JW's positioned so nicely on the off angle. Sticko doesn't expect it.
The bomb's ticking away.
And JW's still got a molly, and that's not, he doesn't even need it. CZ to close for him, and a massive turnaround for Fnatic here. The first half, it looked like HellRaisers knew it all, but clearly not. Fnatic's sheer power just seemed to close it down.
And the mid control was fantastic for them as well. HellRaisers not really having the ability to counteract them there and forced to try and play retake on A from truck. Just one angle is not enough, and nor is it in this match. 16-14 to Fnatic. Now let's head over the desk and get the boys' thoughts on how this one went down. An interesting game that went to all 30 rounds.
Moses and the boys.
That went out live.
That went really good.
Perfect.
Yep.
I was a good touch, I thought. We need to actually get a microphone to record that.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
We could go deep. We could build some lyrics on that one. 16-14 Fnatic, a massive comeback. Didn't expect that. Astounding, one would say.
Yeah.
From down 4-11 at halftime.
Absolutely. They won the pistol, got the 3-0. They won a single gun round there in the first half and managing to pull it back. What an amazing second half, though, was from Fnatic. Actually overwhelming time and time again. They actually had a bit of tactical prowess there as well. Some good executions coming in, and they were consistently losing the first frag and recovering in situations. That's really good to see after going down 11-4, managing to have that mental resilience, Jason, to bounce back and eventually take the game in the 30th round.
Mental resilience is an important thing.
Well, to reflect on that first half, you know, it looked like entries were across the board from all members of HellRaisers. Just Angel running in, Zero, Sticko, Bondic, everyone getting it done. And once they had the opening kill, they were just able to collapse on the bomb sites. Fnatic couldn't get anything done. We saw them start to rely on the crutch of the double AWP, which actually hurt them in the long run of that first half. Then they brought the double AWP on the T side as well, and boy.
One key thing as well I noticed, Fnatic on their CT side were trying to force situations a lot, being aggressive on the CT side. We said Cobble didn't really lend itself to them in that respect, but they actually did very well on the CT side on that map. The map where they have all the options, they're trying to force the aggressive plays at the start, but HellRaisers is very patient, waiting for it and shutting them down time and time again. You'd have thought that was actually going to be amazing for Fnatic. On paper, I think, obviously, outweigh them in terms of firepower. You'd think they'd be winning most of those duels. Didn't really happen for them. They won a single gun round on the CT side.
This seems to be a trademark of some of the CIS teams that have moved together. You think the old Na'Vi, you think Gambit right now under Zeus, very patient in like the mid-round situations. I mean, HellRaisers did a great job of not getting caught off guard ever.
Yeah,
yeah, and it actually, I mean, that's the funny thing, is it actually, like you said, it made like those aggressive plays for Fnatic just look very, very overextended, didn't it?
Yeah.
And they were together in a lot of those situations as well. So when they did punish that aggression, they were very quickly able to swarm bomb sites, and that was a positive factor for them. But Fnatic to grind that back and get in it, they had that eco round win, which, you know, late in the second half, which was huge for them. They just kept grinding out round after round.
Turned into a little bit of a brawl there at the end. It was a comeback from Fnatic and some swapped rounds. When it got right on 13-13.
Lots of action on the A-bomb side. Lots of clutches coming in there. Like lots of clutches in that kind of key quad position as well. It's always so tense in that area when you're the 1v1 and the bombs there. I love like when people try to like fake out sound cues, like the left or right, and try to bait out where they're going to be going. So many of those coming in, and it does make for a great game.
So B-Stream update, Chad.
I wasn't going to say that.
Say that?
Before the B-Stream update, the one thing, like even the start of the game, that pissed around from HellRaisers, where and they faked out JW and they pulled so many resources over to that A site. That was a really nice call. But B-Stream update, NIP bounced back. They were managed to take down VP on Cobblestone 16-9.
It's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Split series.
Actually, wasn't VP up like 7 something
at
one point?
They were doing quite significantly well.
Yeah. Awesome B-Stream update.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, it's going to be the second set of matches for the evening, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, FaZe versus North. Stay tuned.
Moses and the boys.